the Masterless ones. Ronin talk.
We're back.
Hey,
It's your boy Andrew Tyson.
Sean Allen. And I guess we're advocating senior citizen violence.
Stop baiting. It's about to be lit.
It's not though. It's not. Someone's gonna throw their hip out.
Let's watch this.
We're talking about Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. They're fighting this weekend. No, this is not a throwback video.
And yes, I'm bringing pizza.
Paisano?
Of course.
Right,
Got it.
Hey, man, you think I'm worried about you? You think that works? You think you play mind games with me? 100%. You will be. This is going to be a lot of fun. So come on. Make sure you watch this fight. Don't leave. It's going to end quick. I'm putting this guy out. I'm putting this guy to sleep.
That doesn't sound
I
confident.
I hear that all the time. I never knocked you out, right? Yeah. First one you knocked out. Yeah. Second one you quit, right?
No, the second one is Dana in your back pocket.
Oh yeah, you quit in the second one.
Defend yourself, I'll punches, huh? Arms up until you defend yourself, I'll punches.
He said, "Move or I'm going to stop it. Move or I'm going to stop it." You looked at him like a deer in headlights.
Oh, come on, dude. That was my side of your fucking heart. Are you joking me? Come on.
Yeah, whatever, man.
We'll see. You've been knocked out before. Just wait. You'll get knocked out again.
Yeah, good. Come after it.
I'm gonna come after it. Taking your ass down and pounding you out.
Good luck.
Right? We will be the last one he can do.
I love that. I'm so hyped. I am so hyped. Who's winning?
I gotta go with Tito, man. I gotta... Chuck... I don't know what to say
Be
anymore.
respectful. He's a Hall of Famer. Be respectful. Watch your mouth.
I'm serious. Like, I don't know. I can't give you a full breakdown like I usually do because Chuck hasn't fought since I was in high school.
Damn. That's deep. And true.
Tito's been more active in that time frame.
And has Tito aged at all? Is it just me or does he look the exact same like forever? Is he a vampire?
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Like,
He's
it's
pretty
weird.
close.
Like,
it is.
if you think about when he started fighting, like,
Yeah.
dude, he looks good.
He does.
Mentally, when he talks, he like, yes, I'm being respectful to Chuck, but we all know why Dana White doesn't want to see him fighting more.
Yeah.
He's been knocked out way too many times.
Well, wait, I think he won, 4 in a row?
Yeah, and you can see and like he's older, but you can see the kind of lapses in talk. Like even during the press conference, it's like he forgot he was at a press conference. That you're supposed to stand in front of the mic.
Yeah.
It became too personal, which I get, but
Right.
I'm going with Tito. I can't lie. If Chuck somehow pulls it off, I'll be super happy for him. But
after seeing that pad work video,
we're gonna show that as well. Do you want? Should we?
I don't want to embarrass him.
We're gonna show that anyway.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just show a little bit of it.
Okay.
I know you have it up.
Our producer Paul's gonna be upset.
I'm
that he has to
sorry,
do all this.
forgive us, but this is
But like,
he's giving us a not so nice response right now. But
that hurt my feelings. I'm in my safe space, and you did that.
please let's not get political. Please, right, let's just show this. And no disrespect to Chuck or his coaches.
None, but he's 48. He's very heavy on his heels. His hooks, he's leaning far back. His chin's going straight up in the air. Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
So
That's enough.
this is the thing. I would be super excited for Chuck if he wins, but I don't want him to win. And the reason I don't want him to win is because he has made it clear that he thinks of this as a tune-up fight. And he even had the nerve to say that eventually, maybe one day, fighting John Jones.
That's not true.
Now it'll never happen.
Where did that happen? Did
Yeah,
you
made
read
a
that or did
yeah,
he say that?
We'll get that out to you. No, he said it. He said that this is a tune-up fight. John Jones actually posted it on his Instagram and was trolling and saying, "Wouldn't that be something?" Which we all know what he meant by that, which is like, stop. Yeah, he made a comment, and John Jones himself put it on his Instagram. So I think Tito is just being a businessman. Tito to me stopped fighting before he had to. I think he was very smart. We knew he's big in business.
Well, in all fairness, his back, he had severe back issues. Look at that. Ninja, because we're Ronin.
No, we're going to let that roll. We could have edited that out. So
We're not going to edit it
We're going to
out.
show the reflex.
Why? It's real.
All right, so my biggest thing is I feel like Tito had that back issue, but we see fighters all the time fight longer than they should, whether it's a back issue, a chin issue, there's a...
What?
There's a whole bunch of issues, and I think he's always been a businessman. I think he's looking at this as like a businessman. I think he's looking at like Mayweather. I can make a lot of money. We know De La Hoya is paying well, and I think he knows that Chuck has not been training. And he made a comment during the press conference where he said, I know what you've been doing. You got duped in this. And he's basically saying like, I know you're not fully ready. Right. I know this is you wanting to get some glory back. I think Chuck is maybe doing it for the wrong reasons. Whereas I think Tito's being very business-minded about it.
I 100% agree.
I don't think people realize how big of a deal this fight is for MMA because everyone's laughing, and I know we make our jokes. Yeah. The fact that Golden Boy is involved is a way bigger deal than people realize. My boy Deron Wynn's fighting out. Shout out to Deron Wynn against Tom Lawler. Yeah. And the fact that one of the biggest boxing promotions in the world is backing this, who has now, people forget that Canelo Alvarez just got one of the biggest deals in boxing history with DAZN. Yeah. And the fact that they are still stepping into this MMA world is huge. Yeah. UFC better take note to this because as much as we're laughing, the fact that we have such a powerful boxing promoter involved is huge. And I think that's why Tito's doing it. I think
not to cut you off and get too far off topic, but just to talk about the state of MMA right now. A lot of people don't know World Series of Fighting, which is now Professional Fighters League. Their investors include like Kevin Hart. Yeah, there's a lot of big money coming into MMA.
They're paying fighters stipend. Shout out to Jason I, my boy. He's fighting for them. And dude, and then you look at this whole ONE FC thing, right? Like what they're doing with all these guys getting paid stupid money. Yeah. And this is a big deal, man. Like I know that everyone's laughing about the fight that they picked, but I think it's going to do well enough. And dude, like.
They also dropped the price of the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view for this, I think, is like $40 or something.
And I've said this before, and this is, where the Conor thing comes in, where, the formula of, is it maybe better to start running these fights like boxing promotions where you have one big fight and a few undercards? Instead of these long, drawn-out cards where, let's be honest, the fans a lot of times are waiting for the main event. Yeah. The way they're setting this up is very much like a boxing match. Now, I know they have a ridiculously long undercard. They even have like a few state championships on the... it's a really weird card the way they've done it.
You know what? I'm okay with that if we have the option to see that later.
Well, that's the thing. I mean? That's how they're doing it, right? Yeah. But the fact that he's getting involved in amateur MMA as well, dude, the UFC has to be worried. Like, you can laugh at the fact that it's Tito and Chuck if you want.
But it's Tito and Chuck for this one.
Yeah, and I think he feels safer when guys go to one championship because it's in China and the times they... Fine, you can
Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah. You can feel a little safer if you want, but the reality is now that you have a stateside promotion that's coming that are coming for your fighters when there's free agency. Yeah. That is a big deal. This is good for MMA. Yeah. And like I said, I would love to see Chuck win. I really would, just for him. But I think he would then end up stepping up the competition. De La Hoya will let him, and I think he can get hurt. I'd rather see him just get hurt now or get submitted. My concern is that Tito isn't going to do him that favor of submitting him. I think Tito's going to try to hurt him.
See, and that's where things are going to get weird.
That's what I'm worried.
That's where things are going to get weird. Tito needs to take him down.
He
has to. You can't play this game. We both know how MMA goes.
He doesn't have to.
All it takes is just one. Yeah. One time.
And the fact that they're being honest. He says, I'm here to knock you out. I'm going to take you down and pound you out. I always bring this up. I remember, I am a big boxing fan. I remember, a lot of guys don't know who James Toney was, right? Yeah. I remember when he came to the UFC, that was a big deal for me, right? Against Couture. I always say Couture is a true gentleman because he did him such a favor by submitting him. Yeah. I personally wanted to see him remind him of why this is a different sport. I love boxing, but I always say, there's a lot of disrespect from boxers still, and 100%. Couture did him a favor. He said, he took him down, quick ankle pick, and he submitted him. He could have made that a very
That was a very slick and deep ankle pick. I like that.
He could have embarrassed him. He could have made that a long 5 minutes. He didn't. He got it over with quick. Yeah. I think Tito, being Tito, is going to make it a point to try to really hurt Chuck and embarrass him. Yeah. And that's my only concern about this is that Tito is gonna, he got knocked out twice, and then Chuck bringing it up Chuck, man, that was a long time ago.
Because here's the thing, and we've all seen it with boxers. We saw it with even guys for instance, Roy Jones Jr. is my favorite boxer ever. Okay?
Ever, period. In my opinion, when he was in his prime, the greatest all time. 100%. And all you boxers, we can argue about that later.
Any day of the week.
I will gladly bring up the statistics.
But if we look at when Roy Jones was Roy Jones, and then when he started moving up in weight, You saw the lag, the slowdown in the hands, right?
It wasn't even when he moved up in weight. Like, remember, he won a world title at heavyweight. That's something that Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't able to accomplish.
Fair.
It's when he became a rapper. To all future fighters, stop rapping. Adrian Broner is fighting Pacquiao, and we're gonna have a whole content about that. We're not getting into it, but like, I really am disappointed in Broner's career because of that, and that's what we saw Roy Jones. Like, what was the song? I smoke, I drink, I'm supposed to stop, but I can't. You basically foretold your downfall, Roy.
Yeah.
You're my favorite fighter of all time, and we saw that play out. Glenn Robinson knocked you the hell out. Tarver knocked you the hell out.
The Tarver one was rough.
Yeah, and dude, you know he's
But that's
talking
the
about
thing,
him fighting
he's
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that today. Hopefully never. Actually.
What is going on? What a time to be alive,
right?
But please
but
stop
talking
rapping.
about-
All fighters, just stick to fighting rap
Just
later
fight.
on.
And stop tweeting weird stuff too. That's another issue they have. But at the end of the day, my point was the way that they slow down. If Chuck thinks he's going to be able to throw hands like he did back in like 04, that's not realistic. And we can see it right here. I don't know if you saw the video where he was warming up on the kicking pad, things like that. It's like he looks to the point, and this is no disrespect, but he looks to the point where he's so old that he's actually physically incapable of turning his hips over.
Yeah, and that is not a good sign. And this is the thing, like, in their prime, no doubt Chuck was the better fighter. I remember he did an interview on Below the Belt where he said, the reason he didn't want to fight me a third time is because when we used to train together, he couldn't take me down. I'm the better wrestler. You were the better wrestler, right? And so, like, my concern is that he's going in with a really ridiculous high amount of confidence. And then in this press conference, if you guys haven't seen the press conference, you can go to TysonBoxing.ca, plug, to watch the whole press conference, all right? And dude, Tito openly says, we know you haven't been sparring, because you know he moved his camp to Huntington Beach.
Yeah, well, because he stopped training with John Hackleman.
Which is nothing not a good sign. I don't like...
You know what, in all fairness, to coming into this fight, I'm happy he left Hackleman.
Well, no, and in a way, it's like, but like Hackleman, I heard didn't want anything to do with it. And I heard Hackleman now is just dealing with, he's only doing fitness stuff. But at the end of the day, the fact that he went to Huntington Beach, which is Tito's backyard, Tito's gonna have inside information. And
that's very true.
I believe what he's saying, that he's not sparring. He said, we know you're not sparring. We know you're not in shape. And that could be a bluff, but watching the Midwork video, like, this feels like a money grab and a very delusional thing. And then Dana White, man, like, Dana could have taken this fight, and we can laugh all we want. If this would have been under the UFC banner, it would have been a huge deal. Yeah. All jokes aside. Yeah. And Dana was very serious, and like the way he said, like, I don't want to see Chuck fight again. That's my friend. Like, it was sad the way he was talking about it. I feel like he knows that Chuck's not ready for this either, and so, I would like to see Chuck win, but then the flip side is I don't want Chuck to win and then really believe he can go fight John Jones.
He'll get smushed.
Or any young killer for that.
Nah, like, imagine him fighting anyone. Look, 205 isn't even that deep right now. No disrespect to 205 again. But compared to what 205 was like 10 years ago and now, it's not the same. Imagine if he stepped back in against anyone. Like, even if he fought Glover Teixeira, he's in all the trouble.
Come on, man. Like, and listen, once again, this isn't for disrespect. I used to say this before. Like, before I got good at jiu-jitsu, I believe losing a fight to me was more dangerous because I didn't know what to do once I got on the ground. It was Donkey Kong. I said the same thing about the Couture thing, right?
In all fairness, it works.
It's sometimes better just to get submitted than have a guy who doesn't know what he's doing pummel you to death. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah. Dude, if we don't know what his wrestling is like, and that could be a joke, there might be young amateurs who, once they get chucked to the ground, could really hurt.
They're gonna maul him.
Yeah,
but that goes back to my point. His hips, they look physically capable of turning over. How are you gonna sprawl?
Yeah, and so, like, I don't even think it's about the top UFC guys. I think just 205 is just doing young, athletic, strong people. Yeah. I just don't want to see him.
Or even that Anthony Smith guy.
Come on, man.
You know oh my God, bro. Like, he would murder.
I don't want to see him fight anybody at 205 in the division.
I don't want to see him fight, period.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him fight, period.
But you're going to watch it, and I'm pulling up.
Only because you're bringing pizza. Okay.
Steak, chicken, pepperoni?
Before we get out of here.
I'll throw some spinach.
No.
I'll throw spinach in there.
Add another mammal on there. One more. Add another meat. Before we get out of here, pay-per-view buys. What do you think they're going to do?
Oh, man. I heard the pre-sale's been good in terms of, I don't know, man. I don't want to say anything weird, man. Like, I think they could hit 1 million.
Really?
Wow. Maybe, dude, because of the name and because you have Golden Boy behind it. Now, I will say I haven't seen enough promotion, but maybe I'm not looking in the right places. But it is possible. You know what? Let me be honest. $500,000.
You're higher than me. I say $250.
Okay, yeah.
I say 250.
I wouldn't be surprised with either one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it does way better than we realize because we
Yeah.
forget that this is like a lot of Fairweather fans, people, and then De La Hoya knows what he's doing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's 250.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who is going to win?
I say Tito by arm triangle.
And you want him to win, right? Arm triangle. So you think he's gonna give that to him? I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope he submits him, but I have a feeling that he's not. I think he wants.
Because the thing with an arm triangle is like, remember, it's like a handshake, right?
Yeah.
You can really make someone suffer.
This
You can be stuck in that position
This is
and
my
then
thing.
start to. I see more. Right?
We all know Tito's favorite celebration, which was where he pretends he buried you.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same if the guy gets up after a tap. The guy has to be.
Well, no, I think he's gonna
Choke
beat
him
a hole
asleep.
in his face and then.
I think he's gonna try to elbow his face in the ground. I think he wants to do his celebration while Chuck is being attended to by the doctors. I'm not being funny. You shouldn't have laughed, right? Like that. You are evil because I was being serious, and I think Tito's on some evil. On an evil tip right now, and I think he wants to do his celebration while Chuck is still asleep. I think this is gonna be, God, man, I cannot wait.
Yeah. I saw it. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, it's not funny, bro. You saw it in your funny way. Watching it live, it's not gonna be funny, bro.
I know.
I might shed a tear, bro. This is gonna be. Oh. Tune in. Help those pay-per-views out because I can say this. I want to see this do well because I want competition for the UFC.
Yeah.
Which helps fighters get paid better, which helps the sport. That's why I'm happy that one championship got Demetrius and Eddie.
Yeah.
And so, guys, go buy this fight. I think it'll be entertaining. There's a lot of good guys on the undercard.
Yeah.
Support all MMA promotions that are putting this type of money and
100%.
attention to them.
We got to support the culture. Don't just go for the big guy.
Yeah.
We have to support the culture. Speaking of the culture, by time this comes out, Patrick Connors and my boy Kyron Cameron fighting BTC. Okay,
in Peterborough.
Patrick, that's light work. Kyron, that's light work. Go get it. Shout out to those guys, and we'll see you guys soon.